are live. Boom. Okay. We are ready to rock this thing.
Shout out people,
yeah? Okay. I'm going to get all set up. Let's see. Okay. Here's my live. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday today. We have a couple days off after today, so there we go. Oops, I just dropped something. Okay. Oh, hi, Dawn. Hi, Elizabeth. Hello, hello. Oh, let's see. I can get this plugged in. Oh, you know what? That's why we had that bottle of alcohol over here to keep this thing weighted. So we don't have a mishap halfway through. Okay. Alrighty. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Sue. All right, Cheryl Healy. Hello, Lorraine. Okay. Oh, we got a little extra light for the moment.
It may not.
Maybe we'll have light, maybe we won't. That's all right. I'm going to take off this big bear coat. My little fuzzy coat. All right. Oh, Marjana, Veronica, Nan. Okay. Hello. We have a fun one today. I'm so excited about this card. It is so pretty. Renee. Hi, Renee. Hi, Cheryl. And Susan. Good. Oh, and assistant. Hello, assistant. Hi, Nona. Hey, Nona, I think we have a package ready to ship you, so we'll call you after the video. Oh, and Pebble. Hi. Hey, Judy. Long time no see. Okay, I think we have a good crew here. All right, I got to make sure everything is within my, you know what I could use? I could use a good rinse and clean water in this one. I just rinsed out my gold brush real quick. Okay. So you guys, I am really excited. Today's project is a little bit longer. We're going to cover a lot of different steps. What is it that you would like? Oh, I don't know if this is going to work. Could you please get me some clean water? How's this going to work? Without making a huge mess. Oh, okay. Can you guys see we found a new toy? Oh, hi, Christy. Yeah, long time no see indeed. Indeed. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this card because it is so pretty. So I'm going to bring this up to the camera just so you guys can see everything that is going on in this beauty today. We are going to use... we are going to use 2 colors today. That is it. It is a 2-color challenge. We're going to use basically a navy and gold. And the colors that we're going to be using... No, not on top of the card. Nicely done. I don't know where he found that thing, but oh my gosh. Oh, that's awesome. So the 2 colors that we're going to be using today are Night and Gilt. And that's it. And I'm going to show you a really cool technique that I like a lot. That is a really cool way to bring in just a little bit of color to mix with another color. So let's get started. All right. We are prepped too, which is pretty amazing for us. So I'm just trying to think, what do we want to do first? So I think what we're going to do first is I'm going to take the frame And I'm going to show you guys this cool technique first off so that you can kind of get an idea, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got my two paint brushes, and these are Dina Wakley's paint brushes. For this particular, yep, that one still has blue in it. Okay, for this particular technique, it doesn't have to be these ones. For some of the other stuff I'm going to do later, these stiff bristles are going to be kind of handy. And I'll sort of talk to you guys about what those are. So I have in my classroom supplies, I have these tubes, and we have this size bottle in the store. They're exactly the same price per ounce, but I like the little bottles because you can get a lot more variety, and your paint stays pretty fresh. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a blob here. And first, I'm going to paint this. Now, these ones were cut on this is the Tim Holtz, let me just show you what this frame is. This is one of his new Biggs dies. I think is this chapter 2? This one's chapter 2? I think so. So this one here, and it's a Biggs, so it can cut chipboard, which is what we are cutting here. We have some black chipboard here in the store that I use quite often for bookmaking and things like that. But those Biggs dies, they can cut that heavy chipboard so you can get items with dimension like this. Now, what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to paint it in Night. And you guys may or may not even be able to see there's much of a difference because Night is a really, really beautiful dark navy. But I want it to match my project. So I'm going to let that sit off to the side for a second to dry before we get to the next stage. I'll put it over there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to come back to certain things here. Actually, the other thing I want to dry for the moment is these ones. These are my letters. Now, these ones here, when every once in a while, and it's not every release, but it's every once in a while, Tim comes out with these Biggs XL alphabets. And the thing to know about those is if you like that alphabet, they can be a little bit on the spendy side. However, they cut chipboard. And so they are a really, really great tool to have in your arsenal. But the thing with those is because of the limited numbers that they usually make of the Biggs XL alphas, they're often limited in stock. So these are one of those things that if you ever see an alphabet in the Biggs XL die that you want, it's best to just make sure to grab it because sometimes later down the road you can't always get it. So this one I think was from his, maybe his chapter 4 release last year, maybe chapter 3. I can't remember exactly, but I really, really like this one because it's a cool alphabet and it's kind of a little bit wonky. So for something like today's project where we have a lot of stuff going on but nothing is straight edges, it makes for some really some perfect font for this project. Because I had another alphabet pulled that is a little bit cleaner that we used for Calendar Club all last year, but this one I liked this one better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to take a break from the navy for just a second, because I don't want to dunk my paintbrush in, I'm going to move him out of the way so he doesn't get wet, because I don't want to dunk my paintbrush in the water. I'm going to just wrap it right here. This will keep it moist and keep it from drying out until I'm done. You still do need to wash them when you're done, but so now here is this really, really cool technique for doing these. This is what we want on here. Let me just show you where we're going. Isn't that neat? See that cool little texture you get on the frame? It's not a dry brush. It's actually a transfer. So we're going to take, where is my gilt? Where is my gilt? That's so funny to say. Okay, so I'm going to move these off to the side. All right, and then I'm going to make myself I don't need a ton for this. Well, sometimes I do. Depends on how much gilt I want to have. So, and then I'm just going to paint myself a quick palette right here. Okay, so you'll notice because I have a stiff bristled brush that I have lines in it. So if you want the lines to go up and down, then you want to make sure that your frame is going to go this way. But I don't. I actually want my bristles to go sideways. I do for this particular project. It's not, you know, necessary. So I'm just going to put it in my swath, and then I'm going to, I could have grabbed a tissue so I don't get it all over my hand, but where's the fun in that, right? Okay, and then I'm just going to pull it up. Oh, it wasn't quite wet enough. Okay, so let's try it again. Here's the beauty of this, is that you could just keep going until you have it where you want it. I probably did too much talking, but that's pretty standard for me. Just ask my assistant. Okay, hold on one second. There we go. So see how cool that is? So it's just going to pick up just the paint that is wet and in some sort of a little pattern for it. So let me just get a little bit more here. I think, what are you going to... Okay. Okay, I love this. This technique is so awesome because it's really hard to get this kind of a look without doing it this way. At least for me. So, all right. Isn't that neat? It's like a cool gilded frame that you didn't have to do much work for. It's pretty neat, I think. Okay. There we go. Neat, right? Isn't that cool? Oh, I just love it. Love, 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 love. Okay. Now, while I have my gold out, I'm just going to give these letters a quick Aww. Well, thank you. Yum, I'm going to have that right now. Okay, so I'm going to give these just a quick gold covering, and then we'll just kind of let these dry just because I've got all this stuff out right now. Okay. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to give me a shout on here. I'm trying to keep an eye out, but we do have a lot of parts to this project, but my trusty assistant is keeping an eye on all of the comments. And also, for some reason, my dry paper is really, really far away. So, and I'm using, I'm just using, this one's just a cheapo scratch piece of white paper that I had lying around that I'm using for the palette. It's actually a cardstock, just so that it has a little bit more strength and it doesn't buckle too much when I paint on all the layers of paint. But it really, that part doesn't necessarily matter. I do like white though, so it doesn't accidentally pull up any of the color. So one thing that I do want to mention just as we kind of move along to other parts here is the reason that I colored those letters with the night paint first is because I have noticed that black chipboard is so awesome in so many ways, but it is very rich in color. So what that means is that sometimes when you go to put something on it, the wet color of whatever you're putting on it, the color of the black seeps through. And I didn't want that for my gold letters. I wanted them to be the color that I wanted them. So that's why I painted them with night first. I could have done it with a black gesso too. That would have been fine. Okay, so now what we've done is we've got our frame done and we've got our hugs done. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to do our cool background. So I need the background sheet that I pre-cut, and I need and I need the mixed media marks. So the next piece that we're going to use is this one right here from this die set from Tim. This is a new die set. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, something. I don't know. They're all kind of blending together right now. And so we cut out 2 of these, and we're going to grab our sticky specks, and we're going to just put them on the background, and we're going to work with it once it's already on the background. So we do have this particular large alphabet die in stock. They are, I have a sticky. This alphabet die, and can you show it real quick while I'm doing the sticky specs? you might get my assistant here is going to grab it so that you can see the whole alphabet. This particular one is $69.99. There's one that has another alphabet too that we used before. I don't know if I can get that one still in stock, but I do have this one for sure. Okay, thank you. So this is the one, and it's a big thank you. What are you doing? Oh, ta-da! He's being Vanna White. Ta-da! I don't know. He's got a new toy, and I think he's on fire today. So, okay. So I'm going to do the sticky specks on this one as well. And then for this project, I'm just going to put these in opposite corners. So one thing that I noticed is because I've moved to a new section, it's picked up a little bit, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see the specks just a little when it's black on black, and that's okay by me because I have a whole nother layer that's going on top, so it doesn't make really any difference. But for if I was needing it to be black on black specifically, then I would probably make sure that I moved this, put this die cut in a balder spot. Yep, that's a thing. Okay. My hair snob over there is laughing. All right. So we're just going to stick these on the edges. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything specific because it's just kind of a little bit of a random pattern for the background part of things. So I'm going to just open my piece here, and I'm going to unwrap my blue, my Night brush. And this is the part where I'm going to be happy I have a stiff bristle. So I'm going to paint this whole thing. I'm going to hold this up real quick so that you can kind of get an idea. See how it doesn't quite get into those crevices? So that's where this stiff bristle is going to be great because I can just kind of pounce that Night right in there. Now, the Night and the black are very, very close together as far as color goes. But once you have the whole thing actually in Night, you do see that it's navy. And so you do want to be a little bit careful to make sure you get it in all of those nooks and crannies. Okay. So, but Dina's brushes they're really great for using with these heavy-bodied paints of hers. And you'll notice too that, oops. I just even just bonked the camera. I am really, really feeling artsy today. So, artsy with flair. Oops, see? It's because this one has a little bit longer of a handle. All right, so now the whole thing is Night colored, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to set that off to the side for a second to dry while I grab my sheet of leaves. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, you didn't punch out all the pieces. What kind of an assistant? Can I have the brush, actually? No, it's okay. Let me just have the brush. I'll get a clean one here. Thank you. Okay, so the ones that I ended up using is this one here. And I ended up using, I mean, you can use really any of them for this technique. I feel like the one that I used over there is missing. I'm not sure if he even cut them all, but let's see. Maybe we'll use this one today. That's totally good. Okay, so I'm going to use those two. And the reason I grabbed a clean palette paper here is not because I'm going to paint on it, is because I was trying to avoid dumping my scraps everywhere, but I see that didn't really happen. I did it anyways. Can I give you that to dump in the garbage? Okay, so now I'm going to grab this guy back, and I am going to take my gilt brush, and I'm probably going to need a little more. Okay, what happened to the other tube I had here? Oh, it's right there. Oy, oy, oy. We had the table so clean today. It was like you wouldn't have even recognized this space. And then, of course, it came time to get ready for the 2 o'clock. And so here we are doing that same thing. Where did that go? Where did that go? Okay. So that's all I need to do for that. If you want it fancy, you know, or brush strokes all in one. Because I didn't prime it or anything, I might see a little bit of the black behind it, but that's okay by me. I'm fine with that. And then I'm going to just put it on right over here. Okay, I'm going to set that aside to dry. And then I have one more thing. It's a little far out of my reach, but I think I got it. Okay. So you'll notice here that this one has a gold rim around it. And so I decided I wanted that gold to kind of tie in with the other gold and brighten up this dark card. But because I wanted to make sure that we didn't have some vibrant color throwing this look off, I used a black card base because that's what I had. I have black, ivory, and white. So now what I'm going to do is, because I need access to that gold, I am going to use this other palette. All right, so I am going to just paint directly onto my card base a little bit of a gold frame so that, and then I'll hand this off to my assistant. He's going to put it under a press while we finish the rest of it. By a press, I just mean, you know, something heavy to keep it a little bit straighter. And this is just so that we have basically something that'll look nice and match for when we put our frame piece on there. And I like it because when you do it this way, you don't have to find you don't have to find a piece of paper that matches, because this is kind of a unique gold. And also, you still get this kind of brush mark look on the edge that will go really, really nicely with the rest of the card. Okay, it needs to get dried. You want to zap it with the heat tool before you put it under the thing. It's going to get gold on there, though. Oh. Now it's turning into a mixed media foot. Okay, so, and I need this one dried too. Okay, so while that is happening, this guy here is pretty much dry. So we're going to go back and we're going to finish up this background. What, hon? The heavy paint does dry pretty fast if you have it thin. What I found is he's going to put that under a press, so I just wanted him to dry it before it goes under, because the paint could stick to whatever that thing is and then rip, and then all that work would have been for nothing. But like this one is dry. I think this one is plenty dry for what we need, but I've been doing everything super thin. We don't have the heat on in here today because we didn't really need to. So it's not extra warm or anything like that. It's just, what is it, 63 degrees in here. So, which for those of you guys that know me, it's 63 degrees in here and I don't have a jacket on. It is pretty remarkable. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put more paint here on my palette. And I'm going to take this guy, and I just kind of want a little bit on my raised part here, but it can transfer a little bit. It's okay if it does. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more than that. I might need more gilt. Okay. Oops. Yeek. I almost made a big mess. Did you guys see that? Yikes. Okay. All right. Now, it does get a little bit on the background, but you know what? I don't care. It's okay by me, because that stuff is going to get covered by the frame and some other stuff, and it just kind of ties in. We're going to do a little bit more to the background still, so it all just comes together. I don't know. It just works. I hope my friend Michelle from Florida is watching today, because she will have a big surprise face on, because she would not have expected this project out of me. But I love it. Oh, maybe. I think our assistant has just changed up our final project, which we could like quite a bit. Okay. So now what I want to do is grab this one, and we're going to put this guy here, and I'm going to take a little bit of, this is a big blob of gilt. I think it's just funny every time I say it. It's not spelt the same, but huh? Spelt? It's not spelt the same? That's not even a word either. Don't tell my mom. Okay. Or Inger. I saw Inger on here too for a little while, and she was always my checking up on my grammar too. Okay. So then what I'm going to grab is, there is a nifty little tool, and some of you guys probably have this. It's been around for a while. This tool here is called the splatter brush. And what it does is it has nice long bristles, so you can actually get a good splatter on your surface. So I'm going to just load it up with this little mixture that we made. Can you guys see? It's a little low, isn't it? There we go. My assistant didn't. And then what you're going to do is you are going to just do like this. So I am just taking my fingers and pulling back, and I'm letting the brush do the splattering for me. So you get even more textures on here. Okay, so now I'll hand that over to my assistant, and he'll dry that. And while he's doing that, are my leaves done? Did you take my leaves? Oh. Do you see the leaves? The leaves. The leaves. Okay. I don't, oh, okay. He's going to find something. Oh, you were supposed to put the card base under the press. Oh, look it. I still need the card base under the press. He's so good. He was really efficient. Okay. That'll work. Yeah, I need that. All right, so I'm going to let this one set off to dry. Oh, they're laughing. And are you guys laughing because we're surprised that he was efficient? We did just get some splatter brushes in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, these cutout leaves, if you guys haven't tried them, they're new from Tim Holtz and Sizzix, but what they are is they are a reverse die. So there's a lot of options with these, but for today, I actually want to use it as a leaf. So I'm just going to cut a border around it, and that'll give me the leaf that, you know, the leaf shape that I want. There is no exterior leaf. The leaves come in all different sizes. So, but this one, as far as I know, a lot of people don't really love to fussy cut, but this one, as far as a fussy cut shape goes, I mean, I don't think you could have anything easier. And it's even easier than trying to cut a straight line or a circle, because, you know, it's okay if it's a little bit wonky, because it's, you know, it's a Tim Holtz die, so it's probably not even got a straight edge on it anyways. So I picked two sizes of leaves, I think. I guess I didn't really measure that when I had to change up my leaves, but okay. So I'm just giving it a thin border, and you'll see this goes pretty quick. So the leaves, what's the price on the leaves? I have a sticky note, but I don't remember what all. I think those ones are $16.99 and the medium arcs are $19.99. And you get quite a few leaves in there. How many different leaf patterns do you get? Okay, I think he did a clicking noise. Did anybody count that? So that clicking noise that he He did. If you're starting to learn Sasquatch, that would be 8. Okay, so with this, I'm done with the splatter brush. You do want to rinse this and really any of your other stuff because paint, when it dries, it is permanent. So I'm going to hand that one off to my assistant there. And I think we have most of the pieces done now. Is that correct? I don't see where the original card is. I think we do. Yeah. Okay, so let's kind of gather our pieces together. So we've got this one, this one. I've got my letters. And I have this one. So we're going to just sort of start to place things down and see how we like it. So we've got the leaves. I've got a much golder spot here than I did on my original one. So, you know, that's neither here nor there because it's what we've got today. And that is okay by me. So maybe I want to do like that and see. There is, I still need my card base though. Let's see what we think. But I think this card is really, really fun because when you think about how easy this was to put together, and it really, really does look like a work of art. So, so let me ask you guys. Here's a question. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get an input. Hang on one sec. So I need some advice. Let me actually. Can I have the original one real quick? So we have this ribbon here, and oh. Thank you. We couldn't decide. So this is our original one. So I mean, I can trim it down, but yes or no on the twine. Tell me what you guys think. Yeah. So you guys tell me, because there's kind of a cool thing with the twine too that I can sort of tell you about, but I don't know. I can't decide if I like it or don't like it. But we have, what was the other thing that you wanted to show? So my assistant here, he has decided we need that one. We need a little bit of a vintage flair. So, he's brought me 2 items. He's brought me this guy here, which is a vintage tool tag. Is that what it is? And this one is a military pin from the 40s or 50s or something. Yeah. My accent is terrible, notoriously terrible, so I always have to try it. So, I think that one's not it. Okay. But maybe we were thinking maybe that one? I don't know. We can't quite decide how to finish this one. Something. Why don't you just maybe stick a hand in here? It's very hard when he just grunts at me. I promise. He talks in real life. You want this? Okay. He thinks he wants this tied. Okay, let's see. No twine, no twine, no twine. And do you have a single brother? That is hilarious. Nope, the vote is no twine. No twine. All right. Okay, then we will just move on to assembling our card. We'll have to work it into something else. I'm sorry. Okay, so adhesive. So now that our card is dry, and if you're careful, you can avoid paint on most of the back. I was not as careful on my first one, so, but that's okay. It's okay by me. All right, so, and I cut this, the topper size that I have here is a 4 by 5 1/4. And I wanted, he's gonna, there is something else. He is bound and determined for something else here. Hang on, my friends. No. Never mind. We're going to stick with the original plan. It turns out this is a fast card to make, so we can make another one and try some stuff over the weekend. So we're going to just glue these on. He's all in on this one. He really likes these messy cards. I feel like this could have been one of the ones he could have taught today, but we're working on him still. We are working on him. Okay. So when we did the pre-order for, I believe it was chapter 2, this set of frames, where's the oval one? Can you see it? There's one. Oh, here it is. So I did both of them to see. This is what the oval one looks like. This set of frames was really, really popular. So if you didn't get it, we do have some in, and I think they add so much. And it's really cool because that is a lot of detail for a Big's die. So I'm going to just glue these on. Now, I'm using, again, this art glitter glue with the fine tip, which we've been using on most all the episodes, I think. And that's just because it's working so well for a lot of the stuff that we're doing. So, and it is amazing how delicate this set of letters is. What? Oh, okay. I think my camera's a little high today. Okay, higher than usual anyway. So one trick when you're using these Big's dies, I like the ones with the alphabets. You can get big plates, but I find personally I just use my regular plates and I cut myself little tiny squares of this chipboard. It's such a great way to use up your scraps of this chipboard when you've done, you know, like we die cut the frames. So those center parts that came out of the frames could cut letters. Any of the extra side parts, because you only need a teeny tiny part. And what I find is when I cut my little squares of chipboard to be about the size of the letter and I just run it through and I just do one at a time, I do the letters that are close together, I find I get really good cuts that way. If I try to do a whole bunch of letters at once, then they jump around a little bit, and that might just be, you know, the curvature of my plates or something like that, if they aren't perfectly straight. So, okay, so we've got that. Now I kind of want to talk about how I glued these on. So these ones here, I really liked the dimension of them poking up. So this was the trickiest part, is what I found. I only have a little tiny bit of the glue down on this bottom corner, and it's not perfectly centered. You'll notice that I did not put the two leaves like together right here in the center. I took a poof, that's not even a word. I moved them off to the side just a little bit. So they do need just a second to dry and set before we move on to the next part of gluing them. But I wanted to keep them full of life and full of dimension and kind of popping off. So whatever angle makes you happy. You also want to remember that with this particular project, we are gluing these, we're gluing like painted leaves, you know, even though we're gluing from the backside, there could be paint on the backside to a painted surface. So it isn't the same as gluing to paper. So you want to make sure that you give yourself enough glue to put on there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, and I don't know, let me move this so that you get a different angle on the light. I'm going to move it just to this side a little bit, and I'm going to take it right, whoop, I don't want that big bubble, right here, where that little tiny bit of the leaf is going to touch the frame. Okay, and then I'm going to just press it down right there, and that's all the gluing that I'm going to do, because I really want, the cool thing is when you paint this cardstock, it gives it, because of the wetness and stuff, it gives it a warp that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get otherwise. So I'm going to do like that, and then I just have one more little piece, oops, to glue down right about there. Oh, hang on a minute. I don't think I had enough on there. or I probably didn't let it dry enough. Okay, so now I have those 2 points, and I'm just going to hold this for a second and let it dry. And that is, I mean, that's the card. Don't you think that went together for all of the things that we did? It went together really fast. Now, we did have the die cutting done ahead of time, which was, you know, if you guys saw our post that I put on it at 1:35, I couldn't believe it. We had our card sample done. We were like ready. I don't know what, maybe it's that sunshine that's outside or what, but I really, really like today's card. I think it is stunning. So I'm just gonna, I have a little bit of glue there, but it's okay. It'll dry. It dries clear because that's in the name of the glue. So that's the card that we did. This is the card that we did earlier. And aren't those beautiful? I mean, the detail and the fun mixed media stuff in these cards, it is gorgeous. I love, 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 love these. This one, you'll notice I picked 2 leaves of different sizes. So, you know, that's maybe something that I would probably do if I was going to do it again. But other than that, gorgeous, right? So, anyways, thank you guys. That is what I had for our project today. And I'm so glad that you joined me. It was a really, really fun one. And I just want to make sure things don't fall in the paint here. We are off for 2 days. We are going to be getting caught up on some of the other things we need to do on Sunday and Monday. So we will be back live on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And so thank you guys again from me and from the team. Good job, team. And have a great weekend. We'll see you guys all in a few days. Alrighty, bye-bye.